Moving on now, a cross-section of Nigerians have kicked against the proposed increase in electricity tariffs enforceable from April by the electricity distribution companies DISCOs and to be completed by the end of 2021 with the full backing of the regulator, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NEC). Now, the proposed increment, which is coming despite poor power supply in the country, has been described as inhumane and unfair. Judith Reno has more in this report.
In December, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC) announced the immediate review of electricity tariffs in the country with effect from January 1. The order was issued to the 11 electricity distribution companies DISCOs. The reviews range from 59.7% for consumers in Ikeja to 77.6% in Enugu. Under the new order, electricity consumers in Ikeja, who used to pay about 13 naira 34 kobo per kilowatt since under the 2015 MYTO, when the last review was carried out, will from January 1 this year pay 21 naira 80 kobo per kilowatt, same as the R2 counterpart. Their counterparts in Enugu, who used to pay about 17 naira 42 kobo per kilowatt, will under the new order pay about 30 naira 93 kobo per kilowatt, amongst others, with effect from January 1. The increment cut across states in Nigeria. Opinions of labor, consumers representative, and an energy expert differ.
So, for many of us also here, we don't want to hear about the cost-reflective tariff. That's why many investors, I have friends outside of the country that some of them have come around, we've sat down together before we tried, but when they look at the cost, which is being regulated by NEC, by government, they run away. Because when you use your own stuff, you generate your own power, and you are paying 18 naira per kilowatt hour. But the government has regulated it to the point of you can pay between 25 naira and 32 naira per kilowatt hour. Yet, many of us are still shouting. But of course, I'm very sure that if the power is available, as I went there, people are going to be ready to pay.
For us, we cannot but caution that should there be a move that look like it, it should be resisted. And the government on their own should withdraw because it's not progressive. We know the government may have a positive mind in terms of what to do, but how to do it is more important now because the interest of government should be the service they render to Nigerians, not actually what you take from Nigerians. There are better ways to generate revenue. There are better ways, including doing it through electricity. The commercial charges to commercial-owned organizations can actually drive what they want, not to target a general increment that will eventually sabotage the peace being enjoyed by families.
Based on the provisions of the law, there was no consultation. There was an existing judgment obtained in February 3rd, 2016, even nullifying and consider illegal the one that they are still using, which was February 3, 2016. So when there is a judgment against a matter in which that has not been nullified, that judgment is still in force. Even the one that they are using or that we are paying for remain illegal. Apart from the fact that it remains an illegal activity to exercise if allowed to take place. The period of reviewing a tariff in accordance with the provisions of the operational law, which we term Electric Power Sector Reform Act 2005, stipulated that every major review is under MITO.
While Nigerians clamor for better service delivery in the power sector as development hinges on it, a member of the Energy Forum insists the problem in Nigeria goes beyond generation as existing power lines are obsolete and can barely take what is being generated.
The business that are succeeding in Nigeria today are purely driven by organization generator. They generate power by themselves. No factory succeed with NEPA in Nigeria. No organization that wants to succeed in terms of technology can depend on Nigerian NEPA. No. Even construction companies go to factories. They absolutely have no connection to NEPA. They don't even have a transformer that suggests that NEPA will come one day. So how do you now believe that such country will be talking about increment when people are crying that darkness is increasing? So if few people are saying there's improvement in power, congratulations. But I tell you, majority of Nigeria is seeking for improvement.
If the service providers are also metering appropriately, it's going to be much better for them, because there is going to be more available to go around everybody, and that at the end of the day, everybody will feel better. But that's another thing many of us don't like to hear in this side of the world. Just like what happens in the real energy sector, talking about petroleum, downstream and whatever. The cost of PMS air is about 145 naira, right? But in neighboring African countries, you can buy the same at the rate of 315 naira, at the rate of 350 naira. So that is why we have people, what do I call it now? They steal and they take the oil away to those places.
Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has now called for the suspension of the hike in electricity tariff, saying the increment should not be allowed until estimated billing is criminalized. However, the ability of the DISCOs to deliver uninterrupted power supply is still in doubt in spite of previous increment. What then seemed to be the way forward? Respondents had this to say.
We believe state must be given opportunity to generate and distribute. Let it be that they are the one failing their people. And then you come down to private organizations who want to invest in power. There are organizations that want to invest, using solar to provide power, using what we have in Nigeria as raw material to provide power. Even the dustbin you see everywhere, they transfer them into power. And by the time this is generated, they will sell it to companies. They sell it to individuals who want to buy. It could be you have competition in prices and you prefer the one you want to use. So there are a lot of, we have other means that government can actually accommodate to solving this problem.
Number one, part of what cover their efficiency is the meterings of the consumers to measure the exact usage and to get value for their money. How many consumers have been metered? As at August or March last year, out of the 8.5 million consumers in which these DISCOs signed a performance contract agreement on that they will be metered, only 3.3 million have been metered. About 5.2 million consumers still remain on meter, not considering those people that are just spring up as consumer within that period of their existence.
Judith Erenua for Galaxy News, Lagos.